ladies and gentlemen, anyone who knows this beautiful tower and window wall will know exactly where I'm sitting. And I have to apologize. I have been off air due to lack of proper internet in Asia in general, and more specifically in the country I am in now. I have had limited internet access, but have made many very interesting videos of this part of Asia. And I have some reviews on foods that I will just tell you right up front. The food in the country that I am in now is so far superior to the food, not just to the Philippines, but to the food I grew up in New York City as well. I think it has something to do with the soil. Well, it must have something to do with the soil. The meat tastes like meat, the pork tastes like pork, the chicken tastes like chicken, and the vegetables have this. There's no way to describe how good the vegetables are. The same vegetables that we would get in the Philippines, the same exact looking vegetables, the same exact names, even sometimes the vegetables here are so much better. There was, I have one of them right here. This is really cool. I have this vegetable. I made some people laugh. I have a video of us in a restaurant, and for the laughter, I gave the whole family. It's a family-owned restaurant. Client Circus. Hey buddy, how you doing? Well, I got some stories to tell when I get back, and that should happen soon. So I'm trying to get this thing out of here. They gave me a fruit. The people who I made laugh yesterday, we were laughing probably for a good minute. It was a silly thing I did. I was having lunch at my favorite restaurant, and they don't speak a word of English. They don't even know the name of this airport. It's only a mile away. So I'm having lunch with the whole family there. The family is in the restaurant, but I'm sitting separate, of course. I was not sitting with the family. And they, I made them laugh about some stuff that I was kidding around about. And they gave me this fruit. It's called a dragon's tooth or a dragon's fruit. I'm not real sure, but I could never, after 2 days, I couldn't figure out what it was that they were calling it, dragon's fruit or dragon's tooth or both. And it weighs about a kilo. And inside this fruit if you made this smaller, it would look just like a raspberry. It's got the same purple inside, the same little black seeds inside. It's also the same consistency inside the fruit. The difference is this is not a sweet fruit. It's not sour, but it's not sweet. But anyway, I told them that they were all number one. All of them were number one. And they were kind of trying to figure out how everybody could be number one. And they were pointing at each other and laughing. And you're number one, I'm number one, he's number one, she's number one. We're all number one. So for that, the owner came out from behind the area where they cook. The owner came out from, hey, Flat Earth, I got something to tell you. The owner came out from the area that he was cooking in, and gave me that fruit. He said, did you like the dragon fruit? Like, he asked me in his language, which I understand none of. And I said, yeah. Flat Earth. So Flat Earth, I found it really interesting. When I was flying out of the Philippines a couple of weeks ago, as soon as you get offshore, all cell phones die. Now, on my plane, they didn't have satellite phones, and they didn't have internet access either. But because, as we know, Flat Earth Society, as we know, all cell phone communications, all video communications, all telecom communications are done either with what they call satellites, is really towers, like the tower in front of us, but they have a radar to broadcast radio frequencies and cell phone frequencies, or undersea cables. But 40 miles offshore, I guess, we were moving a mile every 2 minutes, so it took about 6 minutes, maybe 30 miles offshore. 30 seconds. None am I talking about 40 miles, 40 seconds. 40 seconds offshore. As soon as we headed across the ocean, we lost communication. Why would that happen? Why would that happen if we had satellites up there in space? Why would that happen? Why would we lose communication? It worked until 30 seconds offshore. So that they keep telling us that we have these millions of thousands, billions of dollars worth of satellites up there in space, and they handle all our communications, but it's all done on cell phone towers and undersea cables. And when I asked the pilot, which not that pilot, but another pilot, the answer I got, this is bizarre. He said, we're moving so fast that the cell phones can't keep up with the back and forth between the satellites in the sky, in the atmosphere, over in space. And he was making it up as he went along. Now, he wasn't making it up as he went along, but he was not telling the truth. His eyes were flashing from left to right and up and down. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. I guess it was a standard answer that they tell him, but there is no satellites up there in space that we use for telecommunications. There may be some lighter-than-air vehicles. There certainly are those. But flying around in space, what keeps them up there for all those years? Where do they get the fuel from to constantly fight gravity? Constantly fight gravity. If the orbit decays after you thrust in space and the orbit does decay, where do they get the fuel from to constantly fuel those satellites forever? And then they tell you that they're nuclear powered. Well, nuclear powered, yeah, that's for the electronics. That has nothing to do with keeping it in a geosynchronous orbit. Nothing at all. So they're lying to us. Again, they lied. There's a lot of lying going on. Oh, God, there's a lot of lying going on. We got people out there threatening people's lives day after day after day after day after day after. There was a fella, he said he would eat crow, getting back to the truth. What is true in this world? There was a fella that said he would eat crow if Fazio got a motion of consideration to leave the Philippines. He would eat crow if Fazio got a visa to go to another country. He would eat crow if Fazio got a visa to tour Southeast Asia. He would eat crow if Fazio was able to get out of the Philippines, and he was going to stop Fazio from getting out of the Philippines, no matter what it took. And this is why you shouldn't listen to the nonsense. Some of it's nonsense. Some of it's just anger and angst and hate. And now he has to eat crow, and I'm wondering, what is he going to eat the crow with? Will he have a piece of dragon fruit with the crow? Will he eat dragon tooth with the crow? Or last week, Barry Jordan said something. Damn, they made me fall out of the airplane. Meet Barry J. Damn near made me fall out of the airplane when I was listening to one of his live streams. He said he was going to slap a certain guy with his Como Sikiyama. That's what he said. I was laughing so hard. And so I'm thinking that if this guy now has to keep his word, he said if Fazio gets out of the country, I'll eat crow. If Fazio gets a motion of consideration, I'll eat crow. I'm wondering if he'll take a special sauce from Barry Jordan to wash that crow down with. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, Barry has he's a pretty much a chef in his own right. He's not quite the Philistilla cooking show, but well, that's a pretty good analogy. Barry Jordan and Philistilla cooking show. That would have made a great team. But Barry Jordan offered him some special sauce after he smacked him with this Como Sikiyama, and I'm wondering if he'll take Barry up on that. Go there and get what Barry could make him a special Slurpee. I'm sure that he would like that. Oh God, yeah, because the feathers in the crow are very dry. When you're eating crow, feathers have a tendency to stick in your throat. But with Barry's special sauce, poking those feathers down deep into the esophagus, I'm sure that he would like that. I mean, actually, I think he probably would like that as long as it wasn't on video. I'm sure he would probably like that a lot more than you would think that he would like that. But I think that's the way he flies. And talking about flying, look at that tower. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out the drone in a few minutes, and I'm going to go outside that beautiful glass wall, and I'm going to drone that tower. I'm going to put the drone up there. I want to see what that radar mechanism looks like close up. And then I want to look inside and see them looking at me. And then, of course, I'm gonna drone the whole thing from on high. I'll do a circle. I'll have it follow the antenna. Oh, I'm gonna do a whole bunch of stuff with the drone up there. Yeah. So, okay. I apologize. Whoa. What do we have? We have people that I haven't seen in a while. Let me get my glasses. So, apparently the airport, I'm working on the airport Wi-Fi. They only give you, I think, 15 or 20 minutes, and then they shut down the Wi-Fi. Canny Ford, haven't heard from you in a while. Welcome back, Canny Ford. Colin, days after his trek across Antarctica would colon days, colon should have been comma, I think. Days after his trek across Antarctica, the world is round. I'm pretty torn between both theories. Okay, so if you look, Colin, I'm pretty sure I know who you're talking about. He did walk across a segment of Antarctica. He walked across the segment. It would be like Antarctica is this whole entire window, and then you take where my fingers are forked like that, and that guy walked from the tips of my two fingers across like a peninsula of Antarctica. He did not walk across Antarctica. The expedition that said that they walked across Antarctica did not walk across Antarctica. They walked across a segment of a peninsula, which was hundreds or thousands of miles, but it was not the entirety from north to south or south to north. It was not that. So whether or not the earth is flat or round, they're never going to tell you. You have to figure it out by going, if you're smart, and anybody that is smart is going to come away with the same conclusions. There are proofs. It's called 200 proofs. The earth is not a spinning ball. 200 proofs. The earth is not a spinning ball. It's a book by Eric Dubay, but it's not by, he didn't write the 200 proofs. He just narrated what they were. He narrated for 500 years, for 5,000 years, for 10,000 years, for 20,000 years, for 30,000 years. Even in the Bible, it says the earth is flat. Only the last 500 years do they say the earth is round. And there are a multitude of reasons for that, but you take people that go back to Plato, they were sure the earth was flat. You take the concept that water seeks its own level. It cannot be any other way. It's a force of nature. Water seeks its own level. How would it seek its own level if it was on a ball? Number one. And number two, if the earth was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, the water should shed off the surface of the earth. So anyway, Canny Ford, go to 200 Proofs the Earth is Not a Spinning Ball by Eric Dubay, Ericdubay. Eric Dubay. And you read that book, or you listen to that audio book, and you don't take his word for the explorer or the engineer or the scientist or the experiments. Don't take his word for it. Go right online and look up the people who he talks about. These people actually did the experiments, and they have proven They have proven that the Earth is flat. Now there are 200 proofs that he gives, but there's 2,000 more that he didn't give. He just gave the more popular ones with people that had high levels of intelligence. Nice airport. This window wall amazes me. This window wall amazes me. You're right about that. Those panes are about 10 feet wide and probably 8 feet high. I didn't measure them. I should have measured them. I didn't want to stand up on that thing. Airport security here is very, very lenient. But I wouldn't want to breach any barrier by standing up on the. You can lay down on those all along the airport. My flight leaves early in the morning. One of my flights left at 6 o'clock, and I got here early. There were hundreds of people sleeping along that wall and on those benches over there. hundreds of them. They had people actually brought air mattresses that they blew up and they put them on the floor, and I thought that was pretty cool. They turned down the lights, they turned down the air conditioning, and they allowed the people to sleep in comfort. And and then, I mean, people take their foods over there. It's like they put their food on the bench. Nobody leaves a mess. Personnel that work in the airport, they sleep here at night so they could be here on time for the morning. It's a beautiful airport, and they keep this place spotless. You're going to see in all my videos, I always talk about the bathrooms of wherever I am. In this country that I'm in now, you could walk into the bathroom and you wouldn't know that you were walking into a bathroom. That's how clean it is. There's no smell of deodorant or disinfectant. There's no smell of any kind of bacteria at all. Nothing, zero. And it's pretty. And the one thing I'm not happy about here, though, is I bring my own food wherever I go, mostly when I'm not sure where I'm going to be going. So this fruit will be my breakfast from the restaurant that I ate in yesterday. The owner of the restaurant gave me a fruit. I made him laugh. His whole family laughed all together. They were all laughing with me, and I made them all number one. You're number one, and you're number one, and you're number one, and you're number one. And as I went by, each person that worked at the restaurant, there was the grandmother, the grandfather, the mother, the father, the husband and the wife, and then the granddaughter. As I went by them, you're number one, you're number one, you're number. They couldn't figure out how everybody could be number one. They don't have the same sense of humor as we do here. Not in America, and certainly not in the Philippines. But and they were laughing. How could I'm number one? No, he's number. Oh, he's number. No. She's number one. She's number one. So, the one thing I don't like at the airport, at airports in general, a burger, a Whopper. They do make real Whoppers here, because you're going to see I'm in another country, and I made a video about Whoppers. Actually, that was the Philippines. I've been to a few different places. The Philippines charges some absurd amount of money. $7 for a Whopper with no onions, no lettuce, no tomato, no pickles, no sauce, special sauce. No nothing. No ketchup. If you want any of that stuff on your burger, you have to pay an extra 10 pesos for each accoutrement. But here, they put all that stuff on the Whopper, but they don't flame broil it. They're still taking the burgers out of a pan. And here, a Whopper with fries and a Coke is $16. That's ridiculous. That's the equivalent of 2 days' pay for the people that live in this country. That's ridiculous. $16. Now, that's not the big. Now, a Whopper box that also comes with a piece of chicken is $18. I think it was $18. I won't tell you what currency I used, because then you'll know where I am. But I'll be home soon, and first thing I got to do is get the drone out of my bag here. And my drone bag. I'm going to get the drone out of my bag, and then I'm going to take it outside, and I'm going to drone the tower. They're going to love that. We're going to find out how if their radio frequency talks to my radio frequency and shuts my drone off mid-air. We're going to find that out in a few minutes. because in a few minutes I do have to go. I have some preparation to do for. Hold on a minute. I have to go. I want to get that drone. I want to drone that tower, and then when I get back from droning that tower, then the truth, lady. Hey, babe, I called you this morning, and I left you a long message. Thanks for stopping by. You're one of my good friends, man. I love talking to you. I got to tell you about another lady that's just like you, and we're all the same age. And her and I, and you and I, and we have some of the greatest conversations. I talked with her last week for an hour. Yeah, I'm going to fly the drone up to that tower. I'm going outside into the parking lot, and I'm going to fly the drone up around the tower. I want to drone around the top of the radar tower. And but because this is not the Philippines or America. This is a different country altogether. I don't know that their drone. There's electronics in the Philippines and in America that will shut the drone off if you go inside an airport, TCA. And we're definitely inside the TCA, by the way. We are right dead center. That is the TCA. That's the terminal controlled area. And we're going to fly the drone up around the tower, and then over the top of the tower, and then around the tower by the windows. I want to look in the windows, and then if they have the ability to shut the drone off, I guess I don't know how it's going to land. It's going to crash land or just descend slowly, but that's my plan. Drone in that tower next, and then when I get back, we're going to drone Cebu. A flyby on the tower. That's exactly what we're going to do, a flyby on the tower. And you know how those towers hate flybys. Now that's some aircraft technical talk. A flyby on the tower. I heard it. Good, I'm glad you heard my message. No, I didn't paint the drone yet because they won't allow spray paint on the plane. Undetected. Yeah, I'll be undetected. I'll probably be under arrest as well. You guys are so gullible. So I had bought the i13 phone. They sent me the wrong phone. All kidding aside, now if this shuts off, it takes me about a minute to reconnect because in the airport you can only get their internet. So if this connection shuts off, just give me about 5 minutes and I'll be back. It takes about 3 minutes to reinitiate the network. So I bought an i13 phone. I paid 49,000 pesos for it. It's supposed to be the 6 1/8 inch screen in length, in height, and then like 3.5 inches wide. However, when I took it out of the box, it was 6 1/8 on a diagonal, which made it a lot smaller. Like 5/8 of an inch smaller lengthwise and 3/8 of an inch smaller widthwise. So that went back in the box, back to Lazada. That was 49,000 pesos. But I did have another drone that I had bought that didn't have collision avoidance on the top collision avoidance. My Mavic Mini 2 did not have vertical collision avoidance, so I sent that back, and that was good morning. That was 33,000 pesos that I'm waiting to hit my bank account. And then 48,000 pesos for the phone. That's 83,000 pesos that I'm waiting to hit my bank account back into it. They did send me back the 12,000 pesos for the battery that they didn't send me. And they sent me back 1,000 pesos for something else that was wrong. I tell you, it's hard buying stuff online. So, the weather here is 33 degrees during the day. For those of you who came in late, LOL. Yeah, that was a big LOL on my behalf. That was a big LOL. I'm a big kidder. You know I'm a big kidder. Imagine going out there and flying by that tower. Boy, they would give me some looks for sure. So, we're in the country that I'm in, and eventually I'll show you some of the foods that I bought. But the food here, it all has to do with soil and water. The food in the country I am in is better than the food in America. The meat is better than the meat in America. The vegetables are better than the vegetables in the Philippines, better than the vegetables in America, better than the vegetables in California. You can take the same type of vegetable here and eat it, and you wouldn't know what you were eating. For instance, lettuce. Lettuce tastes... It kind of tastes like lettuce from when we were children, from the 1960s, before they put all the chemicals in the water. I'm not gonna divulge what country I'm in, but thank you for stopping by and saying hello. But I will tell you that when I get back, I'm going to do an expose on foods. It has a lot to do. First of all, they have this purple leafy type of lettuce. There's no way to describe what it tastes like. There's no way without eating it, but it almost feels like velvet. Like it has a velvety touch to it. Very, very fine nap on the vegetable. And when you pick it up, it feels like a cloth. Like, why would I eat this? It feels like cloth. But it's a vegetable. And when you eat it, you say, "Oh, this is not real. It's not real. It's too good to be real." And it's purple. Most people don't like to eat purple or blue foods, but I don't mind. But when you eat the regular lettuce like lettuce and tomato, you don't even know that you're eating lettuce. It's like going back into the 1960s and eating lettuce again before they put any chemicals in it, before they put any additives in the soil, before they did anything to the soil, before they did anything to the seeds. This is all natural here. The food is... You get an apple, you eat an apple, you go, wow. I remember eating apples like this when we were kids. We went to, during apple season, we went and picked apples off the tree and had fresh apples. The food here is so much better. And it's cheap. It's for $3. For $3, if you eat $3 worth of lunch in a hole in the wall here, you can't eat another thing. You just can't eat another thing for $3. Except if you go to Burger King. So I started talking about Burger King. They got the Whoppers are $16 for a Whopper with large order of fries and a soda, which I would never get a large soda and fries. But then they have a burger box that's like $18. It's quite a bit of money, and it's not cooked fresh. It's not like they frame broil everything right for you. They have the burgers sitting in a tray on wax paper with semi-melted cheese on top of them because they went through the flame broiler already. Then they put 3 of those Whoppers. I did not buy a Whopper. I wouldn't pay $16 for a Whopper. But they put 3 of those on there. and the lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, and a sesame seed bud. And then they put it in the microwave for like 60 seconds. I will not eat that. If I'm going to have a burger, I want it flame broiled, and I made that mistake last week, 2 weeks ago in the Philippines at Manila Airport. Don't ever buy a Whopper or a burger in a Burger King at the Manila Airport. Do not do it. Just take your money and throw it. Throw it, throw it, throw it. So, the food here is just so much better. The bread. Now, we get good bread in America. Of course, we get Italian bread in New York City. The bread here is better than the best Italian bread you're ever going to buy in New York City. I am talking fresh baked bread here is better than fresh baked Italian bread from an Italian bakery in New York City, or as good. But considering all the garbage they put in the flour and to make the new Italian bread the way it tastes now, the bread here is better. It's all natural. It's one of the difference it is eating. Now, I would never live here, but I wouldn't want to live here. But I could tell you, I wish I could tell you how good the food is. And of course, they can't even import this stuff to the Philippines because it would just be too expensive. So let me go check the comments. Alvin's all LOL. Best to be undetected. Yeah, I would imagine flying around that radar tower would be best to be undetected. So I have to purchase for the drone. I'm going to go with the iPhone 13 Pro now. Pro, P-R-O. So when I first started looking at phones, the Pro was 75,000 pesos, $1,500. 2 weeks ago when I left the Philippines, they had come down to 66,000 pesos. I guess they're coming out with a new phone. When I get back, and I will not buy it from Lazada again because it took 12 days to get it from Lazada, and then they sent me the wrong phone. Now, I might buy it from Lazada if there's a big enough difference in price, but it's just so much easier to buy it from a brick and mortar store and not deal with shipping it back and waiting for the money to hit the bank account, because it's already 3 weeks and that 48,800 pesos did not hit my bank account yet. And I know I'm going to get it because I have 3 other back charges that came back into my bank account. But why can't they get an order right? That's the question. I mean, I've had 4 wrong orders out of the last 14, 15, 16 orders. 4 of them were just wrong orders, the wrong thing. One time I paid 12,000 pesos for a battery, and they sent me a typewriter ribbon that was worth about $6. And that took probably 8 correspondents from me and 8 correspondents from Lazada to get that straightened out. It wasn't even from Lazada. It was another Hobby Dynamics. I had to go through a different, the seller for that, because I bought it from the seller through Lazada. It's just really hard buying stuff from Lazada. I'm not disappointed that they did send me back all the money so far, but we'll see when I get my 49,000 pesos back when I get back. So there is another way to get up into that tower, that vertical line that you see. Right there, that vertical line. That vertical line, that's an elevator. I could go downstairs and I don't see a lot of security down there. I think if I run really fast, I could get to the elevator. Just kidding. And, but I think that would be one really cool place to make a video from, up in that tower up there. So looks like we have a world-class traveler here. There is one thing that you people should know about Asia. If you're planning on moving to Asia, Philippines, anywhere in Asia for the most part, and even this includes the Philippines, people do not speak English. Don't expect them to know English, not any English at all. What you need to do, and what I did, was I bought a voice translator to come here. And that failed when I took it out of the box. It didn't work. That is your only hope to communicate with these people here in Asia in general. There is no way to talk to them about, even if you say the word museum, they don't know what the word museum is. Even the museum will have the word museum on the museum, but they don't know what the museum is or what that word is. I got one for you. Pharmacy. Pharmacy. Pharmacia is a word used throughout Southeast Asia. But if you ask any person in the country that I'm in, and you ask them where the pharmacia is, can you please tell me where the pharmacia is? They shake their hand like this. That means they don't speak English. Okay, but pharmacia. Now, they're very nice, but they smile and they walk away. They don't speak English. So what's the point of saying, you could say it 20 times, they're not going to understand pharmacia, pharmacia. And, but the people here are very nice. I will tell you, they're very meek and kind-hearted people. That I will tell you. But they can't help you. But, for instance, I wanted to go to a pharmacia, and I had walked already 3 miles. Literally, I walked 3 miles to go to a pharmacia. So I stopped and asked a young lady on the road, where is the pharmacia? So I asked the woman where the pharmacia is, and she went like this, and she didn't know, and she smiled, and I smiled at her. I mean, like, she doesn't, I don't understand their language, they don't understand my language. It's a mutual misunderstanding. So she tells me to hold on, and I was in a commercial district. I had literally walked 3 miles, because I was just walking around the city. I just took a walk, and they kept telling me over there, go around that block over there. But they point. I think they're just telling you, go away, go away, go away, go away. We don't speak English. So she went into the building that she was apparently going to work in. Good morning. She went in. You wish to be on YouTube or no? Not you. No? Okay. She went into the building and she came back out with a man drinking a beer. And he said, pharmacy? I said, yes, pharmacia. I take you pharmacy. But they have motorcycles all over the place. But when I stopped to ask a motorcycle, a carrier, somebody that takes you, hobble driver, I asked them. They don't know what a pharmacy is. That's when I say they don't speak English. They don't speak English. They don't. They don't understand museum. They don't understand nothing. So anyway, he tells me we get on the motorcycle, and he took me about a mile to a real pharmacy, and then I got the medicine that I wanted, and then of course I wanted to go back to where I am, and he took me back, and I went to pay him. Man, I was hanging on to the motorcycle in the front. I had to put my foot over the front wheel to make him take money, and then he wouldn't take the money. No, kept saying no. He wouldn't take a dime, and I mean, I felt he was just being a nice guy. The girl was just being. People here are very nice. The people in the restaurants that I eat in, we all laugh that we don't speak English, and I don't speak their language. And Red Horse Adventures. So this Asia is a beautiful country. The food is much better than in America, of course, better than in the Philippines as well. Red Horse Adventures. I mentioned to the wife that the Philippines should get the jeepneys collected and restore them and have a museum before they all disappear and go to rust. Yeah, they are going away. The newer jeepneys are taking over. They don't have jeepneys here like we have in the Philippines. They do have smaller buses. But I enjoyed my stay here. It was interesting that even the people that service me at the airport, they don't speak English. You if you're gonna come and leave the Philippines, you gotta understand that the people don't speak English. They don't speak any English at all. Even if I wanted to ask them for this airport that I'm sitting in right now, where is, and I say the name of the airport, and I can see the airport from where I'm asking the people just on a lark. They don't know what I'm asking them. Even if I say the name of the airport. They don't understand the name of the airport in English is different than the name of the airport in their language. It's pretty trippy living here. Now, for the hotels, you can get a hotel here for, well, let's start off with the cab drivers. Cab drivers are thieves wherever you are. They're thieves. So the first night here in this country, I get out, and it's what they call the red-eye flight. I had quite the experience. We had what seemed to be on my plane someone that was causing a lot of problems, and the air marshals had to come on and take them off. Now, I don't know for what reason. It was way up in the front of the plane, and they demanded that we all stay in our seats. But then they checked the plane for different various substances and whatever, and that delayed the flight 3 hours. Kind of screwed up my vacation a little bit. But I get in at 3 o'clock in the morning. The cab driver says, I bring you a hotel because I want to go to a certain hotel. I didn't register for the hotel, but I know hotel. I know, because he was the only person that ever spoke English to me, and he robbed me. Big time, too. So, I know hotel. I know that hotel. So you $10 cab for the hotel, $15 for the hotel. Because they had inexpensive rooms in the hotel I wanted to go to, and I only wanted to go to sleep for that night. I looked it up on the plane. We had also a delay at the gate. So I look at my phone and I said, let me time this, see how long it takes to get. What is a $10 cab ride in this country? And I was in the cab 90 seconds. He crossed the highway and pulled into a hotel. And Daisy's sending me photographs. I get out and he yells at the counter person. Now they had hotels for $15 on the chart. They had $18 hotels, $30 rooms, $40 rooms, $80 rooms, and $100 rooms. But it was all in that language. And so I tell them the equivalent in their denomination, what I want, and no. They shake their head. They don't know how to say the word no either. No is not something in their vocabulary. It's not in the vocabulary. Yes, no, thank you, good morning. I tried to get people to teach me how to say good morning. It was almost impossible. So the lady shows me a room for $100. No, this room. I want to, no, shakes her head. So I asked the driver, take me to another hotel. Oh, wait. So the guy did not take me to where I wanted to go. The $10 ride was just a $10 ripoff. But the driver stayed with me. He stayed with me. He brings me to another hotel, and he yells out at the counter person something in their language, and the counter person says, I get to the counter, and he's behind me. He's at the car. He already told the woman, charge me $100. So they only had $100 rooms. Now, you got to understand, I'm walking into a hole in the wall. The rooms, now that I'm here a few days, you get rooms here for $7 for a short stay, 3 hours if you want. You can get rooms for $15 for the night, no hot water. You get rooms for $30 with hot water. You get rooms for $40. You got aircon. So anyway, the lady tells me $100 in their language. No, this room. I want this room. It's on the chart. No. Shake their head. No. Go to another hotel. Same thing. The fourth hotel. I got this. Now it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. I put my hand on the driver's shoulder. You stay here in the car. You stay. Don't open the door. No door. No door. No door. No door. No door. You stay here. Like, no. I go to the hotel. They got the same chart. I got an $18 room. I paid for it. Took care of the driver. But he was already paid $10 in advance. I told him thank you very much. And he stayed. It took about maybe, I don't think I was with him 17, 18 minutes, because all the hotels are every 50 feet. Well, I see super chat. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bentayan Brawler. Oh, he's been following my trip since the beginning. If anybody knows what I'm going through, where I'm at, not bad stuff, not good stuff, stuff. I got it. When I get back from this trip, and I won't be back for a couple of hours at least, I'm going to talk about some things about traveling. I'm going to talk about some of the things I don't agree with what the airlines have done over the last 30 years, 20 years since 9/11, and some of the things that I agree with. But there are a lot of things that could be eliminated, let's say eliminated from the process, that would cut down on costs. Like, they have so much security that we have to go through. So much security. They're still making us take our shoes and socks off. Um, it just boggles the mind. And there's never really been any reason for all this security before or after 9/11. They've not. The person that got taken off the plane, I don't know what he did not go. He did not go silently into the night. There was quite a commotion, but like it was a long plane, and I couldn't really hear what was being said. But there was lots of yelling and screaming. But they wouldn't tell me why he got thrown off the plane. So I don't know whether he got thrown off the plane because he was. Who knows? Anyway, thank Bantang Brawler. Thank you, Truth Lady, a landowner. Congratulations to the Truth Lady. She and I have been talking about her purchasing land in Georgia, the southern United States, for going on 2 years now. Wow, time flies. And hold on a minute, I'm gonna get this. And she wants to do what they call small small like small plots of land where people live, minimalistic living, where you get a room that's 14 or 15 feet square, and your bathroom, your kitchen, your living room, and your dining area, it's all in one room. She would know the word better than me, but it's and those places like that are popping up all over the United States for people that can't afford to own houses anymore. So the Truth Lady has gone through countless agreements to buy, and then for one reason or another the sale didn't go through. So congratulations to the Truth Lady. It's a big step, especially at our age. The Truth Lady and I have known each other since the early 1980s is when we met. Her boss and I did the same work, dock building. And Don Henley was his name. And she had worked for him. She was his secretary when I used to go there. You know what I was thinking about, Truth Lady, what you said the other day about his trailer and what happened to the trailer? I remember, I wish I would have took some pictures, but I remember he had quite an antique collection of ship's nautical stuff. He had some really cool stuff in there. And in the bottom of the barge also, he had some really cool stuff in the barge also. So congratulations, Truth Lady. Bantang Brother says it's all about control and building empires. Yes. And some of the things I don't want to talk. I won't talk bad about the airlines themselves, because the airlines themselves, they're running huge amounts of responsibility, huge amounts, and so far it's like a fine-oiled machine, except for one thing, and I'll talk about that when I get back to the Philippines. That part wasn't so finely oiled. And one thing I could talk about is waste. I've noticed, and then this is ridiculous. This is absurdity. This is absurd. When you entered into the airport in Pang Mau, they sell these little things. It's about half the size of this dragon tooth or dragon fruit, whatever this is. About half the size. And it's a coconut paste, and it comes in a cup, a plastic cup. and it's shaped like a coconut, but it's really a plastic cup, and it's got coconut concentrate in it. On the floor in Panglao, there were probably 500 of those coconut things, and they're each 90 pesos or 100 pesos each, depends on where you buy them. If you buy them near the airport, they're over 100 pesos each. So there's 500 of those on the floor. And then there were two bins, clear plastic bins, filled up with cans of soda, cans of orange juice, $10 bottles of suntan lotion, $15 bottles of suntan lotion, $20 bottles of suntan lotion, hand cream, exotic hand cream. There was literally thousands of dollars in clear plastic garbage receptacles at the airport. How many bottles of water? There were separate containers, two entire huge plastic bins filled up with bottles of water that were unopened. Whole, 3, 4 bottles saran wrapped together that you buy in the store, just thrown in there. You're talking about maybe $10,000 in a day at a small airport that they take away from the people. Now, they know that there's coconut concentrate in there, but they have rules. So all that money was spent and thrown out when the people of the Philippines could have taken that food and eaten it, but they can't do that because of the rules. So people have to buy it again, and the government gets the tax on the money of the sales of the items for the second time that you buy. You can buy those same items in the airport for twice the price. So now they allow you to drink your water or your soda or eat your food. Food, they don't bother you. I brought food with me. They didn't bother me for the food. But so I drank my water, but now I have no water to take my medicine. And then there was a delay with the plane, so I get on the plane, and of course they will give you a cup of water to take your medicine. Cebu Pacific, Philippines Airlines, and any airlines that I've been on, they will give me water for my medicine. But for a can of Pepsi or Coke, for a can of Coca-Cola, it's 100 pesos. So they just took all your Coca-Cola and orange juice away from you for your whole family. There were people that were dumping 6-packs of that stuff into those boxes. And now you want to go on a plane and you want to buy something to drink. Now you have to spend another 600 pesos for 6 more cans of soda that you just paid 30 pesos for in the store. I don't think that's reasonable. I think a closed can of Pepsi-Cola or Coca-Cola or a bottle of orange juice that they could see it's orange juice, but then they would have to give those people at the counter, they'd have to teach them something other than, no, sir, yes, sir, put that in the bin, sir, not allowed, sir, thank you, sir, have a good trip, sir, we're going to throw out your food, sir, and your soda, sir. That was upsetting like you wouldn't believe, to watch all that food. And in Manila Airport, they have to come with trucks to get rid of that food. There was bins that were 3 feet high and 2 feet wide and 2 feet deep, full of food. Canned foods. There was tens of thousands of dollars in food. Canned sardines, canned this, canned that. There's different food products. It was just so sad to see all of that happen like that. It really was. All that food wasted. And when in a country where people are starving to death, it's just a sad thing to see all that food wasted like that. The Truth Lady says, that's why I hate traveling now. Yeah. And there's other things too. There's just other things too. To get out of the Philippines because if you're a foreigner staying in the Philippines, um, it's 1,720 pesos for an exit tax. It has nothing to do with your exit visa. Your exit visa is going to cost, with all your inexpensive tickets and all that processing, your exit visa is going to cost you about $1,200. The visa extension is about 400, and then figure $800, $900 for tickets, and then another $900 for hotels and stuff like that, foods. So you're going to spend about $2,700 to leave the Philippines and come back. But at the airport, when you get your ticket, did you pay the tax? You're a foreigner. You have to pay 1,720 pesos. Well, it's 1,600 pesos. If you've been in the country for more than a year, it's an additional 1,600 pesos for a tax. But you can pay it at that counter for 1,720 if you don't want to go online and do it. I didn't. It was 10 o'clock at night. I wasn't going online to try to figure out how to pay something, so I just paid them their 1,720 pesos. But they nickel and dime you for a lot of different things. A lot of things. A tiny house, says the truth lady. That's what she bought, a tiny house. They're tiny houses. Everything is in like a 12 by 12, 14 by 14, 16 by 16, 18 by 18, 20 by 20 box. Everything is in, and you move your whole family in. You're welcome, truth lady. Congratulations. He did have some beautiful antiques, yes. Dragon Tooth is big in Vietnam. It certainly is. Bantayan broiler. Bobsey's channel. Hi, boys and girls. Dragon Tooth. Okay, so Bantayan broiler. Dragon's tooth. This stuff is delicious. It has the consistency of a raspberry. Even when the seeds of a raspberry are minuscule, this fruit has millions of minuscule seeds in it, maybe. I don't know how many. I'm about ready to cut it open with my credit card because they took, you're not allowed to carry a knife. That's another thing. At the stops where you have to get when you go through customs, they take away nail clippers. They take away anything with a sharp, like a nail clipper or something to scratch underneath your nails to keep your nails clean. Some people have nail clippers that cost, $1. I have a nail clipper that I paid about $1.50 for that I didn't bring with me because I know better. But there were also, if you have a nail file set, like I have a Lacombe, cuticle scissors, nail files, clippers, toenail clippers, my Lacombe clipper set, manicure set, is $270. If I would have put that in my bag by mistake, they would take that away from you and will not let you keep that. So that's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, okay, you could use a nail file for a weapon. You could turn a nail clipper into something else, but there were sets of manicure sets, cheap ones, probably $50, $60 in the box also. And I don't know if those people get to take that stuff home or not, but what a waste. You're talking about a $50 nail cutting set that somebody might have bought on vacation. They have to throw it out. That's ridiculous. That's not reasonable. There should be a way to store it separate. Like when you get on the ferry, any Filipino that has a gun, they give the gun to to the port officer, and the port officer rolls a bunch of tape, box tape around it, puts a tag on it, and that's what the Filipinos put their guns in a box. And then when they get off the boat, the Filipinos pick up their guns off the ferry. But there should be a way to do that with the stuff at the airport, with foods, or at least with manicure sets that were in there. There were many nice things in those boxes. Talking tens, millions, billions. That's $1 billion a day, probably worldwide, that they throw out and make you buy twice. $1 billion a day is a lot of money. Yes, it's a lot of waste. Bob C's channel. I spoke with Aloe this morning, Bob C. Not this morning. Yesterday morning. I lose track of the days. Aloe is going to. Aloe's going to go to Cebu with me, and we're going to fly the drone. Aloe and I are going to look for places to reconnoiter. I'm going to actually get to meet the great Aloe de Winter. We have decided, after all that I've gone through in the last few months, that he would like to. He trusts me enough to meet with me. I agreed not to take any pictures of him, and I will not. But we're going to meet in Cebu, and then we're going to go tour Cebu, and we're going to go find things together, me and Aloe, the great Aloe de Winter. And he's going to go online. Now in Lazada, you can buy a Jester's mask. It's a mask. It's like a rubber mask or rubberized plastic mask. And he's going to wear the mask so no one will know what his face looks like except me, of course. Yeah, that's me and Aloe. We got plans. We made plans. So I will be the first person to ever actually meet Aloe, which I consider a very high honor. The great Aloe de Winter and Michael Fazio flying drones in Cebu soon, baby. Flying drones in Cebu. Jim Alver, I have to say thank you. Jim, I can't get onto that site. Thank you very much. Yes, I'm doing a visa run. I couldn't get. I wish to thank you for your new page. Thank you very much. I can't get on that site. Even I don't know what it is. My phone, usually I say to my phone, Google open Skype or Google open Yahoo. But and all of my, okay, so I'm back. Oh my God. Yeah, so Aloe and Jack Thompson, oh God, I lost the internet there for a while. 20 by 20, says the truth lady. Okay, so I was talking to Jim Alver. Okay, so we only get 20 minutes of internet service here in the airport. And then it shuts off and you have to reconnect, which is free. But it's better internet than I can't get internet on my cell phone at all here. So Jim Alva, thank you. I hope you're still there, but I know you were there before, and I appreciate it greatly. The truth lady says she ordered a tiny house, 20 by 20. She's the proud owner of a new home, and she doesn't have to tell me what state it is now, but we'll talk about that later. Thank you for sharing, Truth Lady. Louis Pagan Pints, how are you, brother? Just joining you. Louis, I'm doing well. All things considered, I was this close to pushing the Louis Pagan Pints button at 1 o'clock in the morning last night. But I said, it's 1 o'clock in your afternoon. You're probably working. So I didn't do it. Thank you for stopping by. And I'm doing well. All things considered, I'm doing well. Actually, things are going quite well. Bob C. Channel, yes, you can just cause so much destruction with a manicure set. LOL. Well, you know, I'm not going to be the one to tell you that you don't need a manicure set at all. The rules the rules are bizarre. I want to get home before I start talking about what could possibly happen. I don't even really want to talk about that. If you were a chemist, let's say you were a chemist, you're allowed to bring onto the airport less than 300 millimeters of fluid, which is about 4 ounces. Okay? And you can bring multiple 2.5, 3, 4 ounce bottles or of liquid. I don't need to go much further than that. If you were a chemist, you can figure it out for yourself. So they're not they're only just stopping people that don't know what the hell they're doing. Anybody that knows what they're doing, you're not going to stop it from happening. It's just not going to happen. You're allowed a bag with up to 1 liter of fluids, in as long as it's less than 3 ounces of fluid. Damn, do I have to tell you how to make something before for you to understand that a liter of fluid can make a lot of something? A lot of it? No, I don't have to do that. As far as causing damage with a nail file set, you can do that. You can do that, but there was 1,000 other ways to bring something like that on board if you wanted to. Jack Thompson, thanks. I got your number through Daisy. Thank you, Jack. But I can't call you from here. So thanks for the number. Vietnam has no clue. The Foz is royalty. They have treated me very good here. They have treated me. Even they don't speak English. The people themselves, take any individual person that I've met, they're very kind and very meek and very polite. So I told the story before. I wanted to go to a pharmacy. I had already walked almost. When I got out of the airport, I walked. The one cab driver was enough for me not to take any more cabs. So I had to come back to the airport to do something, and then rather than take a cab, I got a hotel that's close enough to the airport. Good morning. I got a hotel close enough to the airport to walk back and forth. So now I know how to walk out of the airport. And now, if you want to buy a Burger King, it's $16 for a Whopper with French fries and a Coke. But if you walk out of the airport about 3/4 of a mile away, you have some beautiful Vietnamese restaurants. They don't speak English. They're very nice people, and have not had any problem at all walking around on the streets. Nothing. Nobody's looked at me crooked. Nobody looked at me like, oh, that guy, he's a tourist. There are lots of tourists walking around here. There's no problems like that. So let's sing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Louis Pagan Pants. Salamat. I have stories for you, Louis. I have stories for you. Thank you, Louis. Oh, there we go. We're going to get in trouble, Bob says channel. Flying in circus. That guy, he's got to eat crow. That same guy's going to have to eat crow because he said for the last 2, 3, and almost 4 years that I would never get out of the Philippines. I'd never get the motion of consideration, and I'd never get a visa to go to another country. He was going to stop all that from happening, and if he didn't stop that from happening, he's a man of his word, he said. He's a man of his word. Hold on a minute. That one made me gag. He's a man of a word. He said he would eat crow if I got out of the Philippines. I would eat crow. So I told him I told him I was going to be able to get out of the Philippines, and he was to eat crow. Now he has to eat crow. Now what we need to know now is to the guy that has to eat crow, because he said he's a man of his word. Now we know that that's a lie, which gives him an out. But okay, so if you were going to have a plate of crow, you're going to have it your way. All those feathers are dry. So Barry Jordan and I talked occasionally through chat, but Barry Jordan, I was getting ready to take off on an airplane the other day, and Barry Jordan said something so funny, I almost fell out of the airplane. So that would mean I would have to fall into the aisle, roll up 100 feet to the door, then fall out of the door onto the ramp. Barry Jordan made me laugh so hard, I couldn't stop laughing for about 30 seconds. Barry Jordan offered that if that guy didn't stop harassing him, he offered to slap the guy in the face with his Komosikiyama. Now, I'm telling you, I almost fell out of the airplane. Because what will that accomplish? When you ask Barry Jordan, what will that accomplish? Barry Jordan has put himself in a position that he sent that guy a picture of his Komosikiyama. And now that guy hasn't left him alone since. Because there are those people out there that believe that the guy has fallen in love with Barry Jordan. That's what people believe. After Barry Jordan sent them a screenshot, a picture of his Komosikiyama, that guy has not stopped talking about Barry Jordan. And that he woke up on vacation at 4 o'clock, quarter to 4 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the 2 o'clock, talking about Barry Jordan. All of that happened after Barry sent him a picture of his Komosikiyama. So if Barry just sent him a picture of his Komosikiyama, and that guy fell in love with a picture of Barry's Komosikiyama, can you imagine how much love he would have for Barry if Barry smacked him in the face with his Komosikiyama? You think about that. That guy would be sending Barry bouquets of roses and flowers, and it would look like the cartoons with the hearts and everything coming out of the Christmas cards with hearts. Please smack me in the face with your Komosikiyama again, Barry. And then going back to this guy who has to eat crow, because I left the Philippines. I was allowed to leave the Philippines. I was allowed to get a visa. I was allowed to travel around Asia. What was he like for a side order? What is he going to wash that crow down with? And I'm going to tell you what I think Barry should do. Barry should gin up a special Slurpee mix for him to wash down the crow feathers. Maybe it'd take him a couple of days, but Barry's a very good cook, and Barry can make a mixture of some things and make a personal Barry Jordan Slurpee to give to the guy who has to eat crow because I left the Philippines. Tell Barry I said hello. I'm sorry that he's going through what he's going through. He's been threatened 1,000 times. Oh, I saw a video this morning where my life was threatened, that I was going to die before Christmas. Oh, and by the way, in that same video, you talk about how you're going to get revenge for something that happened in Hawaii. It's going to throw your testimony out of court. You cannot be a hostile witness telling, I'm going to get even with Fazio for what he did in Hawaii. First of all, you got it all mixed up with what happened in Hawaii, little man. You got it all mixed up. You did something in Hawaii that made me call a certain set of authorities, which started the ball rolling. You have a police report on you in Hawaii because of that. Don't go around telling people that I did this and I did that and I did that. You did something that the authorities believe broke the law. You did that to yourself. I've told you that before. And all of that nonsense, he did it. You can't prove any of that. I never had anything to do with anything that you said I had to do with, but you made it clear that I did do that. You are a liar. You're a liar. Barry has called you a liar. Barry has called you. You know, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to get off subject here for a minute. Barry does own you, lock, stock, and barrel. He's owned you for 1.5 or 2 years. You lie about everything. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and talk about Barry Jordan for an hour when you're on vacation. You think a psychiatrist is going to think that that's a normal way of living your life, you moron? Do you think a psychiatrist is going to say, yeah, it's great that you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're on vacation and talk about Barry Jordan for 2 hours? You need psychological treatment that goes far beyond that of mortal men. You cannot wake up and make 42 videos in 4 days about Barry Jordan and Michael Fazio and believe yourself to be a sane person. Insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same results. You are going to get no results. You didn't get any results when you said that you were going to keep me from leaving the country. You did not get any results. I'm out of the country. Does that look like the Philippines airport tower? You didn't get any results in stopping my motion for consideration because you're delusional. You didn't get any results in stopping me from getting my visa to leave the Philippines because you're delusional. You didn't get any results for me not being able to travel around Southeast Asia because you're delusional. You believe all this stuff in your head, but you can't make it happen. You didn't get any results. You swore that you would get money from the tenants, and they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you big time. They beat you. They beat you. The system has worn you down to the point where you have lost your mind. Your tenants beat you at your own game, taking somebody to court. And by the way, for 5 months I had to hear, Fazio's a coward. He called the police because somebody bitch slapped him. Fazio's a coward. And yet, in the video that I listened to this morning, if Brian Hollywood touched me, he'd go to jail. Well, wouldn't you have to call the police? Wouldn't you have to call the police to get Brian Hollywood put in jail if he touched you? So you would call the police if someone attacked you, but it wasn't okay for me. You got beat there too, because all your testimony means nothing. I gave my John Hancock, I gave my testimony. It means nothing. You are a hostile witness. It will get thrown out, and you will eat more crow, and Barry Jordan will have to come up with more special sauce Barry Jordan's special sauce. I am sure that Barry Jordan would spend a week making special sauce in his kitchen for you. And then you'd have the pleasure in your mind of getting smacked by Barry Jordan's Kumasiki Alma. You are such an angry man. Oh my God, you're so angry. All this time I'm listening to bits and pieces of your videos. Fazio, No. What you did in Hawaii was considered illegal. And you blame everything on everybody else. You still can't get it through your head that making 42 videos about me and Barry Jordan on your 4-day vacation is wrong. You need professional assistance, and they haven't created that much professional assistance yet, but they will. The future is coming. Let me go back to the comments. I heard a guy had a dildo and a peanut butter. I heard a guy was going to knock down a drone by throwing a strap on it. That's what I heard. No sense of fun. Lion Circus says it's his picture on his cell phone now, so he can put it next to his face every time he thinks about Barry. He can put the picture next to his face. That's a good one, Flying Circus. You know, Flying Circus, I got to get with you and DNC and come up with. I got an idea. Barry, no teeth. I guess he could suck a crow. LOL. Yeah, but you know, for all of Barry Jordan's foibles, he's still 10 times the man that other guy could ever hope to be. In reality, and I know that Barry has. I believe Barry drinks too much alcohol and smokes too many cigarettes, but even none of that negates that other guy's bad attitude. That other guy. Oh my God, come on, man. Waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning and making a video about Barry Jordan, that might be the last thing on my mind in life. 42 videos in 4 days. And now that he's on a crusade, we're not going to talk about the trolls. You know why? Let me tell you why he doesn't want to talk about the trolls and the drama. Let me tell you exactly why he doesn't want to talk about the trolls and the drama. Let me tell you exactly why he's off that topic now. Because he knows that his supposed testimony, which is supposed to be truthful and based on accuracy, is going to get thrown out of court because he's a hostile witness. We have 5 videos of him explaining this is his way of revenge for something that happened in Hawaii a year ago. He's seeking revenge, telling you in the video he's seeking revenge, telling you that this is his way of getting back for something I perceivedly did to him in Hawaii after he did something that was illegal. And now that he knows that I know that I have the videos of him talking about this being revenge, he wants to change the subject. Every time he gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, he changes the subject. Because he's a feeble-minded little man and can't get it through his head that nothing that he says is ever going to stick. Barry Jordan is not going to jail. And he's certainly not going to go to jail for 12 or 13 years. Somebody will probably bail Barry Jordan out. He has not committed any serious or heinous crimes that are on the books. If he does go to jail, he'll have to pay a fine for his overstay charge fees. And when that fine is paid, he gets out of jail. And somebody will probably pay it. Or he may just get deported. And maybe nothing will happen. I'm not going to jail for 85 years based on the testimony of someone who made it clear as day, this is my way of getting back at you for all that you did in Hawaii, was verbally, word for word, what he said. So your testimony is spiteful vengeance and retribution for a perceived slight that happened to you in Hawaii because you broke the law, dude. You broke the law. Let's get this straight. You broke the law. And now your tenants have spit on your grave. You're not getting any money from them either. You're going to, I'll eat crow if my tenants don't give me money. I'll eat crow if Fazio leaves the Philippines. I'll eat crow if Barry Jordan doesn't go to jail in the year 2020 and 2021 and now 2022. I'll eat crow. Everybody's laughing at you, dude. Everybody's laughing at you. It's time for you to eat crow. Barry Jordan's going to go into his kitchen, make up a special sauce. If you're really lucky, he'll smack you with his komosikiyama. And then you'll be in love with Barry for the rest of your natural life. And we'll go back to The Devil and Miss Jones, where the guy was in purgatory and couldn't have sex. Barry Jordan will be on YouTube, and you won't be able to touch him. You'll only be able to see him. That will be your Devil and Miss Jones story. You like telling that story, and you tell it wrong, by the way. Nothing that you say about the story is right. But picture yourself day after day, day after day. Every time you open up your computer, you got a screensaver of Barry Jordan's komosikiyama. Every time you open up your cell phone, you got a screensaver of Barry Jordan's komosikiyama. You put that right next to your ear, and you talk into it. That's your purgatory, dude, because Barry's never going to let you touch it. Barry's never going to let you touch it. I know Barry. A lot of things I know about Barry. I got to tell you, Barry Jordan came true, all aces, all aces. He refused offers of large amounts of money to go against his moral turpitude. I am a Barry Jordan fan. Right now, I'm a Barry Jordan. Barry Jordan defied any and all odds. I would have thought Barry would have been able to have been bought, but he can't be bought. Just like he's not going to let you touch it, dude. He'll send you pictures. Maybe one day you'll get lucky. He'll smack you in the face with it, but he's not going to let you touch it. And that's your Devil and Miss Jones purgatory story, all in real life. You're never going to be able to touch it. Barry knows that. That's why he owns you. Your tenants own you. They screwed you for $16,000. They screwed you for $16,000. And you're going to have to eat crow with that one too, saying, I'm going to get my tenants, I'm going to get Fazio, I'm going to get Barry Jordan. You're going to have to eat so much crow, you'll be begging Barry Jordan to make some special sauce. And smack you with his komosikiyama. And maybe you'll want another picture or two for your other cell phones and other gadgets. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks, Barry. It was one of the funniest things I ever heard in my entire life. Louis Paganpons, if he slaps him in the face with his komosikiyama, the little man leaves Gilda for sure. Oh my God. Oh my God. For sure. Louis Paganpons is sure about that. Oh my God. Oh God, some of the stuff that comes up on YouTube. Let there be love. Like the The remember the skunk that was always Pierre, the skunk Pierre Purdue, whatever his name, and the hearts were always flowing. He fell in love with somebody. Yeah, that guy would make a great housewife. Oh come on. Oh come on. You know he doesn't know how to do housework. That's all. That's all a story. You know those kids are doing all the housework. He don't do any of that. That you know how I know he doesn't do any housework? Let me tell you how I know that for a fact, okay? Okay. I'm trying to get the comments back up here. I lost the comments. Hold on a minute. I know for a fact he doesn't do housework because he can't organize anything. He couldn't organize the cooking of a breakfast. He made sauce once in a frying pan, he made sauce, but he can't even organize his medicines. Look at his medicines. They're all just thrown on top of each other. They're not in alphabetical order, not in size order. None of the labels are facing the front of the cabinets. He can't even organize a simple cabinet in his bedroom. And you expect him to be able to organize making bacon and eggs? No, he can't do any of that. He's not capable of doing housework. He says he is, but he lies. Flying circus. That was a joke, I guess. Bob C. Shem. Lots of crow recipes on the net. Quite surprised. I'm sure there are. Crow's a pretty big bird. But he don't need a crow recipe. All he needs to do is just start munching down and let Barry come over and give him a couple little squirts of some special sauce. It'd be in like Flint. Look, dude, Jimmy's home is really nice. I can't wait until Prunk gets the boot. You know, Jimmy was the one who picked out all the colors, from what I understand. Jimmy picked out the furniture also. They went to Cebu to pick out the furniture. Oh yeah, I like Barry. Alvin Zoll. I like Barry. There was a time for all of us were fighting, but Barry has shined through in ways that you can't imagine. Barry was offered money to sign an affidavit against me, and his moral turpitude wouldn't let him do it. And so from that day forward, I'm a Barry Jordan fan. No, make no mistake about it. I like Barry. I'm going to get a button that says I like Barry J. He stated many faults with the... Okay, I'm back. As I explained before, you only get 20 minutes of Wi-Fi from the airport, and then they shut it off. So I'm back for another 20 minutes. Not only that, with the house renovations and all of that stuff, because he got away with it doesn't mean that the lack of building permits didn't exist. It just means he got away with it. He's like that. He's like a slimy, like a he's just like that. He gets away with a lot of shit he shouldn't get away with. Like this morning, he said that Fazio will be dead before Christmas. And you think when I showed that to the prosecutor, that video that was made recently, you think when I showed a video that says, this is going to be for all the things you did to me in Hawaii, this is retribution for the things you did to me in Hawaii. They're all perceived slights, by the way. What I did to you in Hawaii was 100% legal. I took a legal action against you in Hawaii. Because it didn't go anywhere doesn't mean that I didn't have the right to do it. Documented, it's in the books. It's actually in the books. Police officers were sent out to investigate, and because you got pissed off about it doesn't mean that you didn't do something to warrant a legal action against you. So stop crying. That's all you do is cry. You've been crying since you were born. Somebody said that there was a guy in kindergarten that took your bazooka bubble gum, and you're still pissed off at the guy from kindergarten. You're like a little baby, and now your tenants kicked your ass. Barry Jordan kicked your ass. Your affidavit is going to go nowhere. You made 5 videos where you said, I'm going to get even with you, Fazio, for all the shit you did to me in Hawaii. And you think the prosecutor's going to take your affidavit after you said this is revenge for what you did to me in Hawaii, and you used the word revenge, and you think that now, and now you've changed your ways, the little man that you are. You've switched over what you want to talk about because you know that soon the prosecutor's going to have to look at your affidavit. It's going to get thrown out. You're a hostile witness. So is your cohort a hostile witness. Cohort is someone that you're in league with. Conspiracy. There's a conspiracy between you and your cohort to defame and slander Michael Fazio, in my opinion. But it doesn't matter. You made 5 videos where you said this is vengeance, this is retribution, this is payback for what Fazio did to me in Hawaii. It's going to get thrown out. You're going to be eating crow, just like you're eating crow, because that is not a tower in the Manila. You're just like you're going to eat crow because nothing's going to happen to Barry Jordan. Just like you're eating crow that you said I couldn't leave or come back from Southeast Asia. Just because you, and of course you said you'd eat crow. So what we need you to do is go out and get a crow and eat the darn crow raw. And I guarantee you, Barry will come over and make a special sauce, and I'm going to personally see to it that Barry has the money to visit you so that you don't have to go away from being Mr. Mom. And I want Barry, I gotta just, that was one of the funny, Barry, if you could just smack him a little bit, just a little bit, Barry, you will have a friend for life. I wonder if Jimmy's responsible for the house renovations punch list. Oh yeah, I heard Jimmy picked out the colors. I heard he picked out the tile. I heard he did most of the. Well, who else would do it? Who else would do it? The other guy is not capable of picking out paint colors. I remember hearing, I gotta pick out paint colors today. You don't know how hard it is in my life. I have to pick out the colors of paint. Picking out paint colors was too much for him. Pooh burgers, that'll happen as soon as Roberto gets to the Philippines. There'll be Pooh burgers. Bobsey's gave me an idea. LOL. Pepe Le Pew, that was the guy. Pepe Le Pew. Barry smacks him one time, bap, in the side of the head. Oh yeah. And that's another thing in the same video. The little man, the little tough guy, we call him the tough guy. The tough guy said, yeah, for 5 months, Fazio called the police. He got smacked, he got bitch slapped. It was a lot more than that. And one day I hope you find out what it feels like. But Fazio called, Fazio, you little baby, you called the police. But you said if Brian Hollywood would have touched you, you would call the police and have him arrested, because you would do the same thing I did. Exactly the same, except for you, you'd be at the police station. They'd have to open up an entire new building just to put your fucking paperwork in the building. They would have to open up an entire building with file cabinets and computer systems just for the paperwork if Brian Hollywood would have smacked you. It would never end. They'd have to open up a donut shop, a cake shop across the street from the police station. You'd be bringing them people donuts and cakes. You wouldn't stop because you're a compulsive little man. Let's go to the next Pepe Le Pew. Yeah, Barry, bap, 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 like that. If you bapped him 3 times, you could make the Love Boat. The Love Boat would have nothing on Barry Jordan. Louis Pagan Ponce hits the nail on the heads. Look, the bottom line is that the long love affair Pronk has with Barry is Barry's fault. That's what you get when you play hard to get. Hard to get. Wait till he smacks him with his Komasikiyama. There'll be love. There'll be. That guy will never leave his bathroom after this. He'll never leave the bathroom. He'll have a computer terminal set up in the bathroom with a screensaver on it. He'll be in the bathroom for the rest of his life. Louis Pagan Ponce, Barry brought this upon himself. The Casanova showed up unannounced to Pronk's house and it was over. The little fella was hooked. It's Barry's fault. It's Barry's fault. Hey, and when you bring all of this information to the new lawyer, nothing's going to happen then either. You're going to eat crow. This is all your videos, all 5 videos. You are in fact responsible for me being attacked, by the way. Did you forget that, little man? Did you forget that it's your responsibility that someone went to my house in Florida and then that same someone came to my house in the Philippines? Did you forget that? That you were the one who caused that to happen? I didn't forget it, and I'm not gonna forget it. You brought this upon yourself. Don't make any mistake about it. You may want to change the subject, but I don't. As soon as you realize Barry owns you, you're his toy, you're his boy toy now. As soon as you realize that, you wanted to change the subject. This has gone too far. Everybody knows that you love Barry Jordan now, and you had to change the subject. But changing the subject does not change the fact. The fact is that you, in my opinion, are in a serious case of man love with Barry Jordan. I think you and Barry Jordan, in your mind, are making love 24/7. Or at least you're making love to Barry Jordan 24/7. That's what I think is going on. He didn't stand a chance. The Alabama gigolo. I hope that Barry sings the gigolo song when he smacks him with his Komasikiyama. I'm just a gigolo, doing what I know. I'm gonna smack the little fellow with my Komasikiyama. That's true. I'm just a gigolo. That would make a great song. Hey, Barry, if you're out there. That was... I know when you said that, I was in an airplane. I heard that. I'm going to smack him with my... And I almost fell into the aisle, rolled all the way up to the exit door in the front of the airplane, and then fell out of the airplane. That's how hard I was laughing, Barry. That was one funny thing. Well, when I was born, all the other newborns conspired. Well, when he was born, when he was born, all the other newborns conspired again. It started at birth, and it got worse, progressively worse. That's a good one, Flying Circus. Jack Thompson, Midnight Mike's great points. Michael makes great points. Yeah. Well, when he forgets. He thinks that I forgot that he's responsible for that guy coming to my house and causing all of this damage to my life. He thinks that I forgot about it. Hey, little man, I didn't forget about that. I'm telling you that when you're going to eat a lot of crow, dude. You're going to eat a lot of crow. And you've already been beaten down. You've been beaten down by me once before where you got away with what you got away with on a technicality. Yeah. And but your tenants beat you into the ground. They stole $16,000 from you, little man. They stole it from you. You believe they owe you $16,000, and in your head, that's real. So now that you didn't get that $16,000, your tenants stole that $16,000 from you, and they're peeing on pictures of you in their backyard, probably. And don't ever forget that I know for a fact you were the person that offered money for somebody to come next door and harass me. Don't ever forget that. I want you to wake up in the morning. I want you to think about it in the afternoon. I want you to go to sleep at night knowing that I did not forget about that. You caused the problem in my life that I have now. So if you think I caused you a problem before, and now that you're going to see that nothing that you have done, your affidavits, your worthless word, your hate, your anger, your video saying this is vengeance, this is retribution for what you did to me in Hawaii. Don't think that none of that shit's not going away. It's not going away. The fact that you caused somebody to come to my house and do bodily harm to me, just remember that I remember that it was your fault that happened. Take that into consideration every time you wake up. Every afternoon you wake up, every day you go to sleep. And don't worry about it. You remember karma. Just remember, you know about karma. You're always talking about karma. Your karma is that you have woke up every day for a month and talked about me and Barry Jordan. That's your karma. And there's a lot more coming. Only the karma knows the karma for sure. But I think your karma's coming. And I hate to say karma coming in the same sentence that I mentioned Barry Jordan, because there you go, back into the bathroom and rubbing one off. There he goes. Karma, Barry Jordan, karma's coming. Whoa, I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, with the Cheeto factory flying circus, he tried to tempt Barry with the butt view. Spreading the cheese temptation. Yeah, that was... Dude, I just don't want you to think that I forgot that you're responsible for that man coming to my house and doing the bodily harm that he did to me. And you think that you know everything. You think that I stopped talking about this. I didn't stop talking about it. My lawyer told me don't talk about this till the case is over. So I don't talk about the case, you moron. You're not supposed to talk about an active case, even though part of the case is over, the other part still goes on. And because you called it retribution, and because you called it revenge, and you said, how do you like being with the shoes on the other foot, your case is going to get thrown out, little man. Warren H is back. Warren H is back, says Jack. Jack is back. Jack is back. Louis Pagan Punch. Dude, come to think of it, only someone who is true lust would break up all of Barry's love interests. Hey, you have a point, Louis Pagan Punch. In other words, you believe that the little man is jealous that Barry's doing love things to women. And that could upset him even more than the fact that he can't have the Barry Jordan. It might upset him even more that Barry is, in his mind, using the Koma Sukiyama on women when it could be much best used for his own selfish needs. It could be. It could be lust against Barry Jordan because Barry's using his love doctor stuff to go with women. Oh my God, I never thought about that. When you're dealing with somebody that's not altogether there, the possibilities are endless. So Lewis says, dude, come to think of it, only someone who is in lust would break up all of Barry's love interests. Barry's a heartbreaker. You got that right. With ED, the cheese factory is his only choice. Oh my God. Look, and all the while we're looking at a phallic symbol. This must really drive the little man up. Up, 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 up. This must all this while looking at a phallic symbol, talking about Barry Jordan and Barry smacking him with his Komasikiyama. This could be considered a phallic symbol. He might be in there right now, in the bathroom right now. I'll be out in a little while. Don't mind the noise. Yep, Barry owns that guy. And I'm going to tell you, again, I refuse to say what I told you last year, but I told you something last year. Maybe 2 years ago. You should remember the words I told you. And then especially that you did cause someone to come to my house and cause a problem. You should remember, try to think about what I said was going to happen. Try to think about what I said was going to happen. I won't ever say it again. I said I'm just going to say it one time. And I told you one time I said those words. And that's going to happen. It's going to happen. But not until Allo and I, the great Allo DeWinter and I, get this drone flying. I'm going to be the first person in all of the YouTube drama community to meet Allo DeWinter without his mask, without his facade on. I promised Allo I wouldn't take any pictures of him or anything like that. And Allo's going to get a jester's mask, and we're going to go to Cebu, and we're going to blog Cebu from the air. Allo, the great Allo DeWinter, and myself. A good old turkey slap. That's funny. And the comedy is going to be endless when Barry finally gives in and gives him a good smack. I got to tell you, that was one of the funniest things I was laughing. I really was on an airplane. I really was listening to some older videos, some of Barry's live streams, and he went like this. He goes, "What if I just like that?" And he moved his hand really fast, smacked him like you'd whip the end of a rope. I'll just smack him. But you have no idea the ramifications that Barry caused inside that guy's mind. He's thinking, "Wow, he really does love me. He loves me. He's going to smack me with his Komasikiyama. He loves me. He's going to smack me with his Komasikiyama." Oh, yeah. And then that, to the same guy that sent the other guy over to my house to cause a problem. There's no doubt in my mind. I know what I heard. Somebody has I don't care whether somebody has the video. I heard what I heard. You caused somebody to come to my house to cause physical harm to me. You should remember, go back through your brain, what little that you have left that hasn't been anesthetized. And remember what I said was going to happen if anybody came to my house. It's going to happen. Just remember what I said. I know you remember. But you think you can get away with anything. You can't. Little man wants some bologna with that cheese. Yep, you screwed up. You made a video asking people, that you're telling people that you would, anybody that goes to Fazio's house, you'll pay half their hotel room at the Stanley House. You said those words, and then it happened. And then it caused me a big problem. And now it's going to cause you a bigger problem. Because now I'm going to tell Barry to play hard to get. I'm going to ask Barry to send you a couple of pictures, but now he's going to make you beg for it. And I know you will. I know you will. Just like your tenants are pissing on your pictures of you. They didn't give you the $16,000. They're never going to give you a penny of that money. You lost $16,000. And To you, that's everything. Money is everything to you. Money is everything. You have principles. Yeah, you have principles. Yeah, I heard you say that you're a very social person the other day also. But no one's ever seen you interact with anybody, ever. No one has ever seen you interact with anybody. Except, of course, the person who you paid to come to my house. And then this morning in the same video, you talk about sex pats being degenerates. And who's your best buddy now? Little man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Daisy's been sending me pictures. Scott's been trying to get in touch with me on Skype. Oh, there's going to be some serenading going on. In fact, when Aloe and I are going to make up a song that we're going to sing when we find the house. And when we find Barry's house, we're going to sing Barry a song. Come fly with us. Come fly the friendly skies of Cebu. The great Barry Jordan. Come fly with us. Come fly the friendly skies of Cebu. Great Barry Jordan, Michael Fazio, and the great Aloe de Winter. Three greats. The great Barry Jordan, the great Aloe de Winter, and the great Michael Fazio are going to fly the friendly skies of Cebu. Orchestrated from an iPhone 13 on my Mavic Air 2S drone. That's right, baby. It's going to happen soon, too, little man. It's going to happen soon. The song of the three of us singing, serenading. You're going to like this. You're going to like it. It's going to give you something to do for the rest of your life. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. Let me show you. There's really not much to see. This is the beautiful tower. People come and people go. Remember, little man, things appear and things disappear. That was a wall placard in a monastery I went in at a long time ago. Things appear. It's a Buddhist saying. Things appear and things disappear, little man. Little man, 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 little man. Me, Barry, and Aloe. Team Alpha. Yeah, baby. Thanks for watching, everybody. Lewis, thank you. Italian Brawler, thank you. Jim Alver, thank you. Thank you all. And I'll be home in a couple hours. I'm Ping Permy from Michael Fazio, not in the Philippines. Baby. Not in the Philippines. I'll zoom in on the tower for you. It's a beautiful tower. As soon as I get done here, I'm going to take the drone out of my case here. I got my gear in there. I got my F-Stop backpack. This has been all over many countries. It's a F-Stop camera case. It holds fins, shoes, snorkels, regulator, no tank, no weight belt. And it's got top. It's an F-Stop. It's the F-Stop Safari. It's got enough clips on here to clip on canteens. Scott Del Fuego, my friend, I did see you. I had to decline your call before because I was doing a live stream. F-Stop is, well, I think if there is a better bag, I don't know about it, but there are bags that are as good as f-stop. Now this bag happens to be from going back to 2000, 2001. It's there's all kinds of stuff. You got down here, you got a place for garbage bags. This holds garbage bags. I have 6 garbage bags in there. And then over here, I'll just lay it out for you. I'll just put it on the floor and show you. Inside here is all camera gear and the drone. Because I'm getting ready to drone that tower. I'm going to go out there in the courtyard and see if the drone will work and see. If it will work in a TCA, the terminal controlled area. Good morning. Terminal controlled area. So this got binders on here with cushions. It's got a very, very soft cushiony strap here. And it's got D-rings to put carabiners on. It's got a hook to hold everything up. Then inside here, I have my passport. And you can keep a shirt. I keep my jacket in this pocket up here. There's one pocket here. There's another pocket here. Inside this pocket is another pocket, and that holds SIM cards and cameras in here. So there's a lot of stuff here. And then in the back, it's got 2. It's got a dry back. You can put like a day shirt in here. You can put another jacket in here, a pair of pants. You can also slip inside the whole backpack itself. I'm going to just move over, give people room to, if they want to sit down. Okay, we got disconnected because of the, I only get 20 minutes of free internet here, and then it shuts off, and then you can connect back up. So inside this bag, inside, I have a bladder that's made for this bag. It holds 3.5 liters, just under a gallon of water. And the bladder sits between the frame and the camera pack. It's very, very, very heavy-duty rubberized plastic. And then on the bottom, in the back here, there are more D-rings. And then in here, as I said, on the other side, I have plastic bags for wet stuff. And this side, you can have dry stuff. You can store some, like a day food, something, a sandwich, a hero like that. And it's got all of this webbing. You can put sneakers. I put fins. It'll hold 2 big fins, one on each side. It's a nice bag. It's the f-stop Safari, Safari, Safari backpack. There is, this one is 10 inches thick, 26 inches in height, and 15 inches in width. This is allowable to fly on any aircraft anywhere in the world. The next size bigger Safari, bigger than the Safari. Now, this is allowed to fly as a take-on luggage. That's what I meant to say. This has been, I've never been stopped on any airplane ever. They all look, they know the bag. Actually, they probably do know the bag. The bag is very famous bag. Not this bag, but the F-Stop Safari is a famous bag. Even I had a couple of backpackers stop. When I first got to the airport, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. We were all sitting down because it was raining outside, and somebody said, "Oh, that's an F-Stop. I always wanted one of those." So F-Stops are famous in every country of the world. This camera bag is going on 21 years old, and I use it a lot. I used to use it for the boat to go away, and it's been all over Florida and the United States. It's been all over. It's been in many places. It's taken a beating too. Really has taken a beating. And it seems to be every latch is still working perfect. So I want to say thank you to everybody. DNC. I could smuggle Barry in that bag. DNC, I got an idea. I got to run this by you. Yeah, Scott. That's a great idea. I want to take the drone out of the bag in a few minutes. I wanted to fly the drone around in here, but I gotta tell you, it was tempting. It was tempting. Look how much. Look. Could you imagine if I could send the drone down to the other end of the building, and I could reconnoiter the building like I'm going to reconnoiter Cebu, and then I could fly it faster than they could run, and I'd fly it and collapse it down and put it in the bag and pretend that I was having lunch or something. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fly it up to the top of that radar tower. Scott Del Fuego said I could do that. That is a beautiful tower. I just watched that tower. I look at it. It reminds me of like a movie that they make in space. You know, the some sort of a docking system inside a huge spaceship. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna call Scott first. So Scott, and then I want to talk to you about a few things, and then Lois, if you're still awake, say hello, or I'll call you in the morning, Lois, because this is your work time now. Yeah, this is your time at work. Well, I'll call you in the morning, I promise. I got to get up early to take care of something in the morning. Jim, thank you. Bentalion Brawler. That's what happened, Bentalion Brawler. That's exactly word for word the truth. So I'll talk to you about that when I do. Everybody else, I'm Pink Permy from Michael Fazio. Not in the Philippines, baby. Not in the Philippines, baby. Not in the Philippines, baby. And this dragon tooth fruit proves that I am not in the Philippines, baby. This is like a giant raspberry. Maybe they have this in the Philippines. It tastes like a raspberry, but not as sweet. It has the same consistency, and you could eat every bit of this fruit except the thinnest skin. It doesn't have, like, the skin is only a 1/16 of an inch. And it comes off of a cactus. It's a regular cactus. It's a cactus fruit. It's actually the fruit from a cactus, and that's where the spikes on the cactus would be. And this was given to me as a gift because I made everybody in the restaurant laugh last night. Yesterday morning. I'm being permit, baby, not from the Philippines, baby. Not from the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now. See you guys in a few days. Me and Daisy are going to take a little road trip. Bye-bye for now.